Hello, welcome back to the Chess Mindset. In this video, I'll be playing against the Bear bot on chess.com, who's rated 1250. So in the previous video, I played against the Girl Scout, who's rated 900. So in this one, I'll be playing against the Bear rated 1250. Now, this will be a higher Elo bot than my previous videos. So in this video, like if you're around, I guess 900, 800, then this will be a very interesting video and hopefully it will allow you to improve. So I'm going to go with d4 and then bishop f4, which is the London system, of course. Okay, so c5 is the main challenge of the London system, and this line is okay. So the bot knows lines. Wow. Okay, I guess 1250 does know lines. So I'm gonna go queen here. Okay, so taking actually isn't the best move according to like theory, because it does open up this file for my rook. So now I'm just going to keep developing. Now I don't want to take this because it just helps him develop his knight, and then he's going to attack this pawn. So yeah, always like think about, it's not just about taking material, it's not just about trading, right? You need to evaluate the position after the trade has occurred. If I take this, then it just helps him develop the knight, and then he's going to attack this pawn. So yeah, don't do that. Now I guess I'll go here, attack his pawn. Okay, he takes. So in the London system, if C pawn ever takes the D pawn, usually you take with the E pawn, because you want to keep this side sort of like solid, and then you want this open file, so you can castle and then bring your rook to the open file. So develops the knight. He could move his knight here. Can't really do anything. I guess I'll develop my knight first to prevent this. I guess he plays it anyway. Alright, because if I take, so if I take with the knight, he'll take and then fork my bishop and knight. But if I take with the bishop after takes, then I can move my knight here and then trade off this knight. So I'll take with my bishop. If this, then I'll go here. And let's see, we get the trade. Okay, we get the trade. Now I could take with the bishop or the pawn. Let's see, if I take with the pawn, I sort of leave this sort of pile like stranded, and it just blocks off my own bishop as well. So I will take with the bishop. Okay, logical. But right now it's blocked by this pawn, so can't really do anything. And also my bishop is pretty good on the square. Notice he can't actually kick it away with any pawns, right? He's got no pawns here to kick away my bishop. So that's a pretty good bishop. Now I'm going to castle. Okay, let's see. At this point, I need to sort of exploit his weaknesses. Now, what are some weaknesses in his position? This pawn is weak because nothing is defending it. This bishop is also weak. Nothing is defending it. So if I can get my knight here, I could attack his bishop and also attack this pawn. So how can I get my knight on this square? It has to go here and then here, but this pawn's in the way. So I will play b4, allow my knight here and then here. Yeah, so now I can just go here. Okay, bishop there. I mean, I'm still going to do this, attack the bishop. Okay, now I can take this pawn. Now be careful, if I take the pawn and then he brings his rook here. Well, actually he can't because my bishop will take it. So yeah, this is just a free pawn. Let's see, is he threatening anything? I mean, not really. I can just bring my rook here. So I will take this pawn. Okay, bishop back. So I will just bring my knight here. I mean, this is a very good square for my knight. He can't really kick it away. Okay, so he plays this move. Now I could take with the rook and then trade the rooks and then play b4 to support this pawn. So that seems pretty good. Right, if he takes, I'll just take back and then play b4 to create this very nice pawn chain. Okay, he wants to go bishop b5, attacking my rook, but obviously I can just move it to a1 and then start pushing this pawn. Actually, can I even start pushing it right now? I think I can, because he can't really stop it. I guess he can go bishop here, and then I mean, that just stops it temporarily. I guess I'll just push this pawn, like why not? He goes here. And I think that's a mistake actually, because I can just push this now. And if he goes bishop here to stop it, I can just take his bishop with my knight. So I think that's just a mistake, and now I can just promote. Yeah, now I can just promote. And it's pretty much game over at this point. Okay, he goes here to protect it. And there is a tactic here, knight b7, to give him a check, and he can't take it because his bishop is pinned. So I will go knight b7. Guess he'll go here. And now I'll go, what do I do? I mean, I don't have to worry about this now. I guess I'll bring my rook in and I go here, here. Okay, that just hangs a bishop. Interesting, so I'll just take a bishop. Okay. Guess I'll check like this. I mean, everything wins here. Guess I'll just give him a check if he moves here. Okay, doesn't move there. Okay, just bring my rook in. Yeah, I can just bring my rook like this. Okay, I will take like this and then maybe play knight here to fork. Okay, I'm gonna play knight here anyway. Force this bishop to move. Okay, I can't even move anyway, so now I'll take this and then, yeah, it's just game over at this point. Okay, just go here. And then knight here, attack that. And then, yeah, here. And it's just checkmate. So, yeah, new board unlocked. Very interesting. The woods. I'm not going to use that now. But hopefully this game gave you a pretty good idea of how to think when it comes to playing against these bots, especially if you're around 1000 Elo. And the main lesson here is basically like you don't want to just trade, right? For example, in this position, I could trade these pawns, but then I'll just help my opponent develop his knight. And why would you want to help your opponent develop his pieces, right? You don't want to help your opponent develop. If you take this, he'll take with the knight, and then he'll attack this b3 pawn, which is undefended. And also his knight being on this square is just not that pleasant. I mean, you can always jump to here, and then you're gonna have to deal with that. So you don't really want to just trade for no reason, right? You want to actually evaluate the position after the trade. And another thing is that here, right, you don't want to just take, because you have to realize, okay, if they take back, they'll actually fork my bishop and knight, and I'm gonna lose material. So in these positions, always think about, okay, I can take with the bishop, because if he takes, then I can just move my knight away and then trade the knights, and then it'll be fine, right? So I take with the bishop, bring my knight here, trade the knights off, and yeah, I'm fine. And another thing is, in the middle game, right, it's common for your opponent to have weaknesses. For example, in this position, right, what is weak in my opponent's position? Well, this bishop, nothing is defending it, and also nothing's defending this pawn. So how can I actually exploit that? Well, actually, like, it's pretty logical, right? You just need a knight on this square, on c5, and that'll attack both pieces. So how can you get your knight here? Well, my knight's here. How can I get it there? Go to b3 and then c5. Well, this pawn's in the way, right? So just push your pawn, and now I can develop my knight there, and yeah, now I can just take this pawn. So yeah, at this level, you have to think about what are your opponent's weaknesses and how can you exploit those weaknesses. And after that, that was basically the idea that won me the game, right? Like, I think up until this point, the game was relatively equal, right? It's just because I exploited his one weakness that led me to winning this game. Because after this, I got a pass pawn, and then I could just promote, and then yeah, everything was just easy from there. So you can see how just exploiting one single weakness in your opponent's position can lead to you winning the games. So hopefully this video gave you a pretty good idea on how to think when it comes to getting to around 1000 Elo. And in the next video, I will be playing against the Park Ranger bot who's rated 1800. So if you want to watch that, then stay tuned, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.